Puebla is one of the most beautiful colonial cities in Mexico, yet it's still surprisingly underrated compared to places like Mexico City or Oaxaca. Colorful streets, Baroque churches, traditional markets, rooftop views of volcanoes, and some of the best food in the country are all packed into this historic city just 2 hours from the capital. In this guide, I'll show you the best things to do in Puebla, from iconic landmarks to local markets and unique cultural spots. And if you want to visit some of these places with a guide or book tours in advance, I'll leave the best experiences and tickets linked in the description. All right, let's start exploring together. Zocalo. The best place to start exploring Puebla is the Zocalo, the city's main square and the heart of local life. Surrounded by colorful colonial buildings, cafes, and historic arcades, this plaza has been the center of Puebla since the 16th century. Street musicians often perform here, families gather in the shade of the trees, and the atmosphere becomes especially lively in the evening when the buildings light up. From the Zocalo, you're also within walking distance of many of Puebla's main attractions. Catedral de Puebla, just beside the Zocalo, stands one of the most impressive churches in Mexico, the Catedral de Puebla. Construction began in the 16th century and took over 100 years to complete, resulting in a stunning mix of architectural styles. The cathedral is famous for its massive towers, which are among the tallest in Mexico, dominating the skyline of the historic center. Mercado de Artesanía el Parian. Just a short walk from the cathedral, you'll find El Parian, one of the most famous artisan markets in Puebla. This colorful open-air market dates back to the 18th century and is the perfect place to discover traditional Mexican crafts. Inside the square courtyard, dozens of small stalls sell handmade products from across the region. You'll find Talavera pottery, embroidered textiles, colorful ceramics, and traditional souvenirs that reflect Puebla's artistic heritage. Explorar los Túneles Secretos. One of the most surprising attractions in Puebla is the network of underground tunnels hidden beneath the city. For many years, these tunnels were forgotten, but they were rediscovered and opened to the public not long ago. Today, you can visit part of this underground system, which is believed to have been used for military defense and secret transportation during colonial times. Callejón de los Sapos. One of the most photogenic streets in Puebla is Callejón de los Sapos, a small cobblestone alley full of color and character. The street is lined with antique shops, art galleries, vintage stores, and charming cafes that give it a unique atmosphere. On weekends, the area becomes even more lively thanks to a popular antique market where collectors and vendors sell everything. Museos Puebla is home to some excellent museums, so if you enjoy culture and history, it's worth setting aside time to explore a few of them. One of the most famous is the Amparo Museum, which offers a fascinating journey through Mexican history from pre-Hispanic civilizations to contemporary art. Another interesting place is the International Museum of the Baroque, a striking modern building that explores the artistic movement that shaped much of Puebla's architecture. Barrio del Artista. The Barrio del Artista is one of the most charming and creative corners of Puebla. This small plaza is filled with art studios where local painters and sculptors work and display their creations. Walking through the area feels a bit like visiting an open-air gallery. You'll often see artists painting in their studios while visitors browse their work or chat about their inspiration. Biblioteca Palafoxiana. Hidden inside a historic building near the cathedral is one of the most remarkable libraries in Latin America, the Biblioteca Palafoxiana. Founded in the 17th century, it's considered the first public library in the Americas. The interior is breathtaking. Wooden bookshelves rise from floor to ceiling, filled with thousands of ancient books dating back hundreds of years. At the center of the room, you'll see a beautiful altarpiece that adds to the dramatic atmosphere. Templo de Santo Domingo. Another architectural highlight in Puebla is the Templo de Santo Domingo, a Baroque church that looks relatively simple from the outside, but hides one of the most spectacular interiors in Mexico. Inside the complex, you'll find the famous Capilla del Rosario, often described as one of the most beautiful chapels in Latin America. The entire room is covered in gold leaf, intricate carvings, and detailed Baroque decorations that make the space feel almost unreal. Calle de los Dulces. One of the sweetest stops in Puebla is Calle de los Dulces, a historic street dedicated to traditional Mexican candies. Puebla has a long tradition of dessert making that dates back to the colonial era, when convents created many of the recipes still sold today. As you walk along the street, you'll see shop windows filled with colorful sweets like camotes, tortillas de Santa Clara, and fruit pastes. Many stores still use traditional methods passed down through generations. That's it for the best things to do in Puebla. If you enjoyed this guide, don't forget to subscribe for more travel content about Mexico. And before you go, let me know in the comments which place is your favorite in Puebla or the one you're planning to visit first.